The community sector is enormous. We have some of the strongest leaders in the country, many of them who are in this room. We need to find our collective voice, but first we need a plan. Where is our wish list? Where are our big ideas? This conference is where you'll find them.
I like to remind people that no contribution is too small, especially in the process of creating change. Where people go wrong in the activism space is doubting the value of their single signature on a petition or their $5 donation here. And I remind people that it's not isolated, your gesture, it's amongst a collective, and trust in the power of the collective, that when you put your little donation in there or you put your little gesture in there, that together we will make a huge difference.
When Joan Kirner got involved in her school parents club, she didn't do it to become Education Minister or eventually Premier. She and these other women and so many more remind us that we cannot treat progress as only the work of great figures in history. It's never been up to a venerated few to make our world better. It is up to all of us.
Because if you only think small and act small, that's all you'll achieve. What the community sector does is it thinks big. It thinks about the way societies shape themselves. It thinks about service systems. And yes, it acts in a small way at a local level. So what I'm encouraging the sector to do is to continue to think big, continue to think about its role within society and the economy and the way in which we as a nation are operating. But at the end of the day, acting small really matters.
My mantra is if you impact one person, well, you've done your job, you know. So if one person goes away from today and they feel impacted or feel inspired to go and learn a bit more about the local mob here, the Wurundjeri people, or the local mob back in where they've come from, I think that's a beautiful thing.
I think we've got quite a few years to go before acknowledgement of Indigenous people by governments are genuine. It's disingenuous at best at the moment, and that to disregard our gift to the nation.
I came here to talk about gender equality in a generation, and it's an absolute must. And we need to be positive that change is in the air. The last few months have showed us that Australian women and men can mobilise towards gender equality. We can mobilise and call for change. Women have courageously spoken up about situations of violence, harassment and inequality. We have a government that is being forced to answer.
These are the people that I fight for. These are the people we need to radically change our approach for. We need to take control of this crisis at a community level so that no victim, survivor or family member ever needs to feel this kind of helplessness again. This is solvable and we can solve it. In fact, we must solve it. But it will take all of us to turn this crisis around.
If we have two hands, like together we can make a difference. But individuality always kill our humanity. So it's like in Somali we say "Gacmo wada jir bay wax ku gayan." And I think it is really hard to translate into English, but I'll just make it in a simple. So together we can make a difference.
It's our job to be kind, and that doesn't mean kind to deserving cases or kind to people we like or kind to people we agree with or kind to people who meet some kind of criteria, just kind. And non-discriminatory kindness, radical kindness. That's how we're going to accelerate the influence we can have in a community.
It'll be a long time before robots take the jobs of the community sector. But it's also the work that has the lightest environmental footprint and the greatest human dividend. It pays us back in healthy communities, people who have more skills and more social connections and feel more able to contribute back to the community. It leads to human flourishing.
We need to be having that larger expanded conversation and challenging ourselves. If we're not achieving the best results in the world, why not? What would it take to actually achieve world-class results here in Australia?
Every time you feel like saying something can't be done, turn it into a question. How can this be done? You're subconsciously giving yourself the message that this can be done. I just have to find a way. And you're also programming your brain cells to scan your environment to try and find solutions.
I love it. I really enjoy being very serious about play. I like I even like scowling if I can. But yeah, because a lot of people play is fun, and it is. Absolutely, it's engaging. But instead of fun, I think about it being engaging. It helps us with our curiosity. It helps us to feel connected. All those things are important things, but play always has been the best way to do it.
Societies and economies can change very quickly when they want to or when they need to in an emergency, crisis situation. And so it's really a matter of clear historical record that we can change, and it shouldn't surprise us. Society, economy, they're human-made construction, subject to human understanding and human control.
I love the diversity of content and the diversity of people. Every speaker, every presentation is very thought-provoking and it's very challenging, and it gives us, I guess, as the delegates, so much to go back home with, to implement in our local areas.
It's really great to be part of it, like a warming energy and around people that are so passionate about what you're passionate about as well.
It's definitely, like, you come here expecting less than is expected, but I reckon when you actually sit down, actually listen to all the speakers, you actually definitely think, oh wow, this is actually amazing to be here and learn, yeah.
Keep coming back, it's a great conference. A lot of people, I mean today there's 500 people here live, another 250 online, so good exposure and great organisation to work with. Dennis and the team put together a really good show, really good content, makes it really relevant and valid for us.
And I really do love the hybrid model as well. I think that people can be online and tune in from anywhere as well as be here physically. I think that's the way of the future, and that's inspiring.
I always feel coming to our communities gives me a good grounding about what's actually happening in the world of our members in particular. I love the speakers, there's such a variety, but a really good key theme of building up resilience and really hope in the community, and really celebrating the amazing work that the community sector does for all of Australians.
We pay for all the coffees and there's been an enormous line, and sometimes people will line up there for 5 minutes or so to get their coffee, and they're very happy. I think we've seen many people coming back.
I'm here because this is my tribe. I love being surrounded by people who are like me.
And now, with everything we have learned, it is time to get out and fix everything. See you next year. Go change the world.